Good evening, class. Sorry about that. I had an emergency and I had to deal with it. Hmm. But let's see
Good
what.
evening.
Good evening. Yeah, I just had
Good evening.
a home, so I had to deal with it. Okay, then. Thank you very much. So you're welcome back to. Let's see if it's recording. Yes. Welcome back to MSBA 609, and today we'll be discussing from where we left off. Last time that we met, we discussed vision to strategy. And today, what we'll try to do is to go beyond just having a vision to start thinking about how to be able to craft the problems that we face in organizations and see how best we can address them. One thing that strategy responds to it is response to the challenges the companies come into or come across or they tend to face. So if you want to be able to address your problems more appropriately, you should be able to understand them. You should be able to interpret them into um, certain formats that you can be able to link them with data. So that's what we're trying to learn today. Our objective is to try to understand how do we frame our problems, and then how do we discover new opportunities out of the problems that we can, so that we can address them adequately. We're using a number of tools or frameworks to do so. The first one that we'll look at is what we call the job to be done framework. And then we'll go on to look at another one, which has to do with um, uh, our overall evaluation criterion, how we select the criteria to evaluate the particular problem that we have. Then we also then go out to check another framework that discusses how to test our guesses, so that we may try to have an intuition or a guess to address a problem. We may hypothesize something, and we want to see how best we can be able to quantify that hypothesis and see whether it can yield any value for us as an organization. So these are the things that we'll be looking into. Okay. So the first one is jobs to be done, which usually is a class activity. So what we do is that I take you through it, and then I divide the class into 3 groups for them to discuss 3 different problems and see how they can come up with a jobs to be done and phrasing for it, or apply the framework to that particular challenge. Now, what does it mean? The job to be done framework is a powerful methodology that helps us to understand the why behind the user's need. Most often, when we are trying to provide solutions, the solution has to be of relevance to the person that we are providing the solution to. So what we try to use the job to be done framework to do is to understand the situation of a problem, the context of a problem, to then, which will then help us to move beyond the context to ask ourselves what investigation or what is motivating us to be able to address it. So what our data needs, what do we need in terms of data to be able to address that particular problem? Then what is the decision we want to make out of it? What's the outcome we want to make out of it? So we're not just looking at data, we are trying to understand that for every given problem, there is some data that if we get can help us evaluate the problem better, or even if it's an opportunity, there is some data can help us to examine the opportunity better. And if you're able to do so, what would that data help us to, what decision that data help us to be able to make or put across? So understand the situation, investigate your data needs. That's what will motivate you to look into the problem better. And then what will be the expected outcome or decision that you can make out of the data that you have been able to receive? So let's take an example. Okay. So this is a challenge that we have. This example says that Ghana Fresh logistics manager requests a report on fuel cost. Then he says that last week when I was reviewing my weekly logistics budget, and I noticed something kind of an unexpected increase in the fuel spend. That's the situation. So you have found out that there'll be some kind of a sudden increase in your fuel spend. Now, if there's been a sudden increase in your fuel spend, if you want to investigate, what kind of data are you going to be investigating for? He says that I want to understand which routes and drivers contribute the most to this increase or this cost overrun. So that's the way your motivation comes in, or your investigation will lead you to. The data I need is the routes and the drivers that contribute most to this cost overrun or contribute most to this increase, so that I can take this decision, decide whether to renegotiate with the transport planners or train the drivers, that update my driver training protocols. So I won't just get up and just go straight and say that, oh, it's the transport partners or it's the drivers who are not doing their work well. I will want to investigate by data. One, the routes the drivers are using, and then the drivers themselves who are driving. If I combine the two, which of them is contributing most to this increase? If I then know it, I can then be able to decide what I want to do. So this is how the framework works. Very, very simple, straightforward framework. When you have a problem, you need to understand what the problem is and understand the data you need to address the problem, and then be able to know what that data could lead you, the decision the data could lead you. So situation, motivation or investigation, or the outcome. I was telling someone yesterday that the situation is like appreciating what the context is. Then the motivation is where your investigation will have to go into. And then the outcome is the decision you want to make. So the situation, the motivation, and the outcome. These are the 3 things that we do in the jobs to be done model. So now let me give you my 3 problems. I have 3 problems here that I want us to test as a class and see whether we can be able to address it. Now, let me share it. I think I have problem 1 showing there. Let me see if I can open the full thing. I want to show all the 3 at the same time. So, give me. Okay. Okay, good. So in your chat room, I'm just going to jump into your chat room and drop the thing there just quickly, like we did this week. Okay. Let me be sure that I have it here. Okay. Oh, sorry. I have the chat room here. Okay, good. So in your chat room, I've dropped it there. Everyone can see it now. In the chat room on Zoom, not on the other side, on Zoom. Okay. So this is what I'm also sharing here on screen. Forgive me and let me share it. Okay. Good. So this is the problem. The first one is problem 1. Ghana Fresh Assurance Manager request report on spoilage, on product spoilage. Okay, so what could be going on? Is there an opportunity? Is there a problem? This one, I would like you to examine it yourself. What is my situation?
He doesn't want him to be making fun. No, but even if he knows that, that's why if you meet him in your corner, at least he can help, because first of all,
Kofi, you and your lady friend,
or whatever, it's dead. And you see, another person,
I heard something about in love. Kofi Bego, please. Tonight is not the night for that right now. Okay, so the situation. Let me keep quiet. Me, I'm on the hot. The situation, the motivation or investigation into data, and then my outcome or decision. My outcome or decision. So I'm going to divide it into 3 groups and you're going to discuss it. That's what we have done throughout the week. It has been very interesting. So the first one is that your boss has asked for the report on spoilage. So what could be? Maybe your boss has come across something and he's thinking about looking at the spoilage data. So that will be the situation. Then what will be the motivation? What kind of thing we looking for in the spoilage report? What kind of thing we looking for? Then what kind of decision can each of the data that he looks out for lead him to? The same thing here too. Situation, motivation, and outcome and decision. The second one is for room 2 or group 2. Problem 2. The manager requests for latest regional sales numbers. Regional sales numbers. Okay. What will you do for? Remember that regional sales, Ghana Fresh sells to European Union. So you'll be thinking about regional sales could be the European Union sales. What could be the issue? Is it about seasonality? Do I need data on seasonality of the produce vis-a-vis purchase patterns? Are people buying less during the summer, or is there a new EU policy? I don't know. So we are going to look at what kind of data would you want your data analyst or your data scientist in your company to give you. So take yourself as the Ghana Fresh salesman. This tool is not for the data scientists. It's actually for the managers who are not necessarily data scientists. So they'll be asking this question, then we're asking you, the data scientist, that this is my situation. What data would we be looking into? We'd like to know this, we'd like to know that, so that we can be able to access that data. The last one is Ghana Fresh Relations Manager requests a list of all farmers in Eastern Region. Wow. Is there what could be? Is there an opportunity or is it a problem? If it's a situation, opportunity, what data do I need? What data do I need from what data do I need from would I be examining from that particular list? If it is an opportunity, what data would I be looking for? If it's a potential problem, what would I be looking out for? So that's what you do in this one. So if for each of them, we are looking at the situation, motivation, and then decision. So how are we going to go about it? So the first example I mentioned that a manager requested for a report on fuel cost. Now, as he reported for the report on fuel cost, this is the decision I want to know or understand the routes and the drivers contribute. The routes and the drivers, which routes and drivers contribute most to the cost overrun. Please, your data request could be more than one. This example is a very brief example. I just asked for one because I could actually ask for report on fuel costs. I could also want to know the cost of fuel across a number of different fuel dispense or fuel stations. So I want to know these fuel companies. Like I want to know the cost from Total, the cost from Shell, the cost from Gull, and compare the three. Could it be part of what the problem is? Or I also want to know maybe there's a problem with the vehicle that is being used to do the deliveries. So is it a matter of looking at the maintenance schedule for the vehicles vis-a-vis their performance? I could also ask for that data. So you could actually ask for more data. Just like this one just showed only one. This one just showed only one. So if you are joining, you are listening to radio and TV and all this, please mute on entry. Mute on entry. Mute on entry. Mute on entry. We know that Kofi is the one on currently leading with the classroom users. Don't try to take that title from Kofi. Okay. Okay, so let's continue. So the group, if you find yourself in group one, room one, you answer problem one. If you find yourself in problem two, group two, you answer problem two. You appoint a group leader, and then you go. So the situation is usually, Michael Atram, are you really trying to do better? Please, I hope you agree that I should put him out of the class. Let me put him out of the class. After saying all these things, then you come back. I think it's even gone off. Okay, he himself has gone off. Please stay out. Today we don't need you in class. This one giving us car horns and stuff. What is this competition about? Classroom users competition. Anyway, let's explore the situation with this classroom user. What data? What's the data? What could be the motivation? I would like to explore the time people left office vis-a-vis maybe their destination. Then those who are the hunger levels, those who are hungry versus those who have not hungry. Maybe, I don't know, maybe some data like that will help. So what we want to do is that for each of the issues, your situation is usually the issue that is being stated here, the product spoilage. That's the situation. So what is product spoilage? What data do you need? That's what it's asking you. And what can each of those data lead? What decision can it lead you to? Number two, latest regional sales numbers. Okay. So maybe but please remember that I'm not giving you a full documentation. So you could actually hypothesize that, okay, a decline in, you observe a decline in the latest regional sales. What data will I need? And then what outcome will that data be able to, or what decision can that data lead me to? So understand your situation, and then understand the data you need, and understand the decision the data can help you make. Now, why is this important? Because quite a number of times when people have problems, like learned last week, decision first, they tend to look at the data than rather looking at the decision. So before we try to go to a decision, we are trying to break the data sources down so that we are linking the data to the problem. I hope you understand me. So I'll divide the class into 3 groups right now. Then in each of the groups, I'll visit each of the groups so that you can be able and take room one will take problem 1, room 2 will take problem 2, and room 3 will take, and use this structure to be able to address it. Just use this structure to be able to address it. Situation, motivation, investigation, outcome, decision. That's all. Okay. If there are no questions, just open my room. Please, anybody can volunteer to be the breakout room lead. How many are we here? We are 65. Hey, this time we need about 4 rooms. Hey, room 1, have you started discussing Dr. Ekose and team? Or you are just here, nobody's talking?
Doc, my environment is not conducive for me to speak. That's why I'm a bit
You can
quiet.
speak.
But then,
right now you can speak. You are in a breakout room, so you can talk to each other.
okay, no problem.
So
But
who is
so I'll be
leading your
speaking.
group there? Solomon, Millicent,
But the environment is
Kwame.
a bit empty. I'm also
So who is
okay.
leading
Let me
your
sit
group
in my
here?
car. Then we see what we can do. All right.
James Amuzu, who will lead your group here? And Marie. Hey. Room 1, we are waiting for you. Abrokwa Benis. None of you is going to lead your team to discuss. Okay.
Prof, I'm actually on my way coming to the house, so that's how come I can't tell if somebody who is in the house can maybe be our group leader.
You decide among yourselves. Room 2, have you started discussing? Samuel, Rexford, Reynolds, Abigail.
We're just about to when you joined us.
Okay then, thank you. Good. That's good.
How many minutes do we have, please?
Oh, we it's just about 5 minutes. Like one of the groups even are not ready to even discuss. So I think you are the group that's quite even ready. Hey, now you are doing some changes to your computer.
I used to that.
You want to change from the dark mode.
For everyone.
We are doing question number 2. Situation motivation and obvious investigation, and the last one is the outcome or decision. So just use that one. So room 2, you'll be answering question 2. Ghana Fresh sales manager requests the latest sales numbers. So the situation could be that there could be a decline, and he just wants to explore or examine or review the sales numbers. Now, if you are reviewing sales numbers, what would you be looking for? Maybe performance of sales managers per country. That could be one. What else? So that would be in your motivation or your investigation.
Yes.
So your problem, start type. Who is typing? The person has opened and saying yes. Okay.
I am.
So type the situation. The situation is I don't know. Are you going to take it as a problem or as an opportunity, or you just want to just explore? Your group has to decide. Because I didn't define whether there's a decline or not a decline. I'm just imagining you're a manager, you hear that your manager has requested for the report on sales managers' performance in the region. What could he be looking for? Maybe there are some who are doing, please, change the font color to white. Otherwise, it will.
So we will take it from a perspective. So I'm just proposing that we take it from the perspective that the sales are declining. Okay,
so situation, sales are declining.
I'll change this thing later.
We can see you. Only you are the one who can see.
Let me just change this down.
Why don't you just select all? Just select all, like just change the color once. It's not from the background. Just select and just choose white. Okay, good. It's even better.
Black matter, that's interesting. Okay, so situation is declining sales.
Okay. I think delete the one down below. The content below is not needed for you. Yeah, that's the thing. Problem 3. Okay. So now, if that's your situation, that's one. Then go straight to your motivation and list the different data you'll be looking for to be able to examine why there's decline in sales or investigation. Then after that, just point out each of those data. What decision can it lead you to? That will be at the decision stage. Okay.
Okay, so there's situation, there's motivation,
and then there's decision. Outcome or decision.
Oh.
Okay.
It seems that has really helped us. So can someone volunteer to tell us something around motivation and the data we need? So maybe what I would say is probably there's also been an increase in returns, sales returns. So that's one thing that because you can have
your situation said declining sales, or
yes,
sales has increased.
Yes. So but what I'm saying is declining sales figures, okay, could mean that you have an increased rate of return or rates of amounts of return. So if you sell so much and the customers return the goods, the net off is a decline.
Okay.
So I think it has to be that why are they returning? That would be the motivation.
No, the motivation is investigation. So he said we should
so
investigate on the data that we are going to go for. And
so
why
that's the
that
investigation. Why are they returning? Like we are investigating on that. So like we need data to explain like, okay, this people have returned because of this or that, something like that.
So I think we'll need secondary sales data. Secondary sales data, I don't know if you're familiar with secondary sales data, but like that's the data from the distributor points to the retailers or consumers. So that secondary sales data can give us insights into whether sales is happening from the retailer point. It will help us identify consumer behavior are they really buying the products from the distributor end, or what is happening? Then we can get from the market perspective as well. So I think secondary sales data can give us that insight.
Okay. Thank you for that. But right now, let's be very, very clear. So we've defined the situation, declining sales. So motivation, what is really the motivation? Are we talking about the motivation for the declining sales? We're talking about what is motivation declining sales, right? Then after we talk about the data required for that.
Some
I
of
think
motivation also is investigation. So I think what
motivation is investigation.
yes,
Is that it?
yes.
Okay.
Or
I don't have the answers. I'm
that's
also
what
asking.
What Prof
said.
said.
That's
Prof
what he
said,
said.
yeah. He said it explicitly that like the motivation is the data that we are going to need for the situation and why we would need that particular data. So we just state that maybe monthly records of sales from each region to know the sales that is done in each region monthly or something.
Yeah. And what there was a gentleman who spoke. Sorry, he spoke about secondary. What did he say?
Secondary.
The secondary sales data.
Secondary sales data.
Then can we also talk about return data?
Yes, I think that's it. Sales return, right?
Sales return.
Yes, sales return. Yeah.
Sales return data. Rex, anything from you?
And what about if we are looking at in terms of inventory levels and stockouts? So if a particular region, probably do not have enough inventory, if you don't have enough inventory, definitely you can't produce them into finished goods to sell them. If a particular region is also stocking out, I mean, you're running out of stock, then of course, definitely your sales will also be coming down. So we can be looking at it from that sense, yeah.
So the inventory, just a question, please. You were saying that the inventory will help them to produce the goods. So in this case, are we talking about raw materials or finished goods?
Well, we are talking about raw materials, inventory in terms of raw materials. So if they are low on inventory, definitely they will not have enough to produce. If they don't have enough to produce, then you can't sell more, even if the demand is high. I also have another point.
Please, before we go to another point, even the inventory, I think can even be at both sides, so both raw and finished.
Yes, we can look at it because it's the raw material.
Good one. You still don't have any activity.
No, we are discussing it.
So nobody is sharing the screen. Okay.
No, we are putting our suggestions in the chat. So that at the end of the day, we consolidate all.
Okay, so we are not seeing your thing in the chat anyway. But whatever it is, I wanted you to know that you have got a situation being the fact that yours is on the report on spoilage. So the question you should ask yourself in the motivation, what could be contributing to the spoilage? What data do you need to be able to assess that or examine that situation? Then each of the data that you request for, what decision can it help you make? That's all. So your situation is well defined for you. Spoilage. Is it about the cold chain? The cold chain in terms of the traveling, the temperature of the cold chain doing transportation from one point to the other point, from the distribution on the farm gate to the distribution to the production, or from production to distribution center. Could it be the situation that they couldn't have the optimum temperature, or could it be the fact that something happened during the production? Sometimes preservatives that you put into products, it doesn't give you the outcome, and sometimes the different varieties of pineapple react differently. So many things could be happening. So you could discuss it as part of your investigation or motivation points, like the data that you need that will help you to examine the problem. Then for each of the data, what decision can it help you make?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Plan okay. I see you are doing something. a list of farmers in the eastern region. That's good. The situation is that a nose dive into the quantity and quality of pineapples produced by all the farmers in the eastern region. Good. So now let's move to our investigation or motivation. What kind of data are we looking for? Maybe the number of plots a farmer harvests per harvest cycle. I don't know. We could do. So your motivation, you could write a number of different data sources that can help you examine quality. If you want quality, the highest quality of pineapple is the grade A pineapple. So you can say that the quantity of grade A pineapple harvested per a farmer, per plot, or per plot per farmer, something like that. That could be one. Then you should also note that even if you harvest it, now you have to now move it to the production center where they will squeeze the juice out of it and turn it into fruit juice. So and different varieties respond differently, and they add certain preservatives. So that will be, you're talking about the quality of the fresh juice at the end will depend on some of the production factors. And then after you have produced the fresh juice, you have to also move it from there to the distribution center or go to the harbor. And that one, you need a cold chain, the kind of vehicle that can keep that will refrigerate it, and per every kilometer be able to keep the temperature levels at the optimum or expected levels until it gets to the destination. So there are a number of things you look at it in terms of the quality and quantity of pineapple. Okay, you are saying quality and quantity of pineapples produced, not the fresh juice, the pineapple itself. Okay. If the pineapple itself, then it's about what goes into the farming, the planting, the varieties you plant, then the farming techniques you use, irrigation. These are things. I'm just thinking loud for you, so the rest is up to you. So what data would you help you to analyze quantity? What data can it help you analyze quality? And then what data can it help you analyze the farmer and the farm itself? Okay. So please go ahead and discuss and write your points down. Valentina, good evening. Please go ahead. I'm listening. Or they're not talking. The guy is waiting for you to type. He has not typed anything.
Okay, I think Prof has helped us a lot. What we are looking at, just like.
So yeah, so we can look at
good
storage. Welcome, Prof. We have storage conditions.
You are group 4. You are doing yeah. You are also doing group 4, problem 1. It's true.
Because we don't have a question, so we're taking you too.
It's true. It's true. But you are even do a better job. The group 1 says they are all driving, so they cannot do the work.
Oh,
thank you very much. Thank you very much. We are very good job people.
Thank you, sir. We are trying our best.
Yeah, but you are better about only 3 minutes more. So I think I'll try about 4 motivation. Then for each of them, what decision can it help you make? For each of the things you have written there, the product harvest time period, storage conditions. Okay.
Yes.
Then the cold chain, the cold chain in terms of transportation.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, whether it was able to transportation.
I think handling. Then we got transportation, because there's handling in there's a personal.
I'm checking into the chat box also. Some of us are putting the answers.
Hello.
If you're talking about handling, then you are talking about packaging too.
Okay. Good,
yeah,
good.
packaging.
So
we have Rashid, we can keep the handling, or because I think
I'm just putting it before, like I'm separating it.
Yeah, but you need to write it more in a form of data. Packaging what? Is it the packaging types that you have, or packaging versus
methods? I think the packaging methods.
Okay, packaging method versus maybe their heat resist, like their
yes, their resistance to heat.
Yeah, resistance to heat. Yeah, resistance to heat.
Okay, but
so we can say poor temperature control instead.
Good.
Okay, so that's poor
No, poor temperature control is an outcome. What data will lead to that outcome? You need the data. So temperature levels during the transportation
or the storage.
Okay, yes, there's temperature for storage and temperature for
temperature for transport.
The transport.
Okay.
That's the cold chain. That's the type of vehicle. That's
Okay,
refrigeratable.
so how should I state it, please? Because there are so many ideas flying. I'm a bit confused now.
I think I just do cold chain issues or something.
Okay, so let me give you temperature levels per kilometer over the transportation distance. Temperature levels per kilometer, because you need to have it at different at a particular temperature throughout. So your cold chain car is able to record every kilometer what was the optimum temperature it was in the car. Yeah, so over the distance to our cold chain. Good. Number two, I think you should also consider labor. You know, sometimes some of the people are not well skilled.
Exactly.
So that was the packaging method, because depending on how you pack it also, it's
the packaging method has to do with the material and then the labor.
The material we use to cut, whether it's cardboard or what, or rubber or metal.
Yeah.
So this is labor. What should I use? Labor handling or
skills?
Handling.
The expertise of the labor, maybe other expertise, or if they are being professional about their job.
Okay, that's also responsiveness. You see something, how you respond too fast to it. Okay.
Then can we are we okay, or should look at decision or outcome? So what's it's just for
What
us?
about the shelf life of the finished products, like the juices? Maybe they have
very short shelf life.
Short shelf lives. I think Abigail was saying something about a short duration between manufacture and then spoilage.
Nice. So that's expiration. Okay, so shelf life. Let us make it shelf life.
So maybe due to the preservative they use or something like that.
Yeah, guys, remember we have a harvested product and we have a processed juices. They are two different things. Is profit here or profit gone?
Profit here.
I think here. So you see, the thing is, remember what we said. We have a harvested product and we have our processed juices. So we have to be. Let's not forget which one each is going to impact or we are focused on, please. So if it's shelf life, of course, that would be for both. That's when we harvest it. But some people want it raw, of course. And some people also want the processed juices when we have processed them, of course. That one has a shelf life, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because shelf life is okay. It can go both ways.
Okay. Product. And then what again? Oh, we should go to our decision or outcome. I think we have
our decision.
Yes, I think we have about 7. That's fine. Sorry. Okay. Yes.
We have to have one for each, like one decision for each of them.
Yes.
Okay. So
with the outcome, you could say, I mean, we could implement a revised cold chain protocol.
Nice. Implement.
I think that will go for the labor, expertise in the labor thing. So we have to link them to whichever point you're trying to explain.
Protocol.
Yeah, I mean with the
Please, I think it's cold chain.
The labor, even the labor, I think we can it's cold chain, not cold chain.
It's what? Cold chain or
cold?
That's it.
I think
it's right.
Sorry.
I think sorry, guys. I think one keeps saying that
hello, we cannot hear you.
Decision is training. Of course. Sorry, I was saying that one key thing that I feel is important that will run across. So sorry. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can, but there's someone speaking over you. That's why it's stopping. Please continue.
So sorry. So I was saying that one key thing that would run across all the what we found in our investigation will be training, because apart from product harvest time, storage conditions, transportation, expertise, we have to train all the various departments of the business one way or the other.
The product harvest time can also actually do with technology too and all that, so that you can know when you have consistent rains and all that. Like that thing Prof talked about the first day, some artificial thing they'll put in the soil.
Yeah, but someone would have to introduce that particular system to the team in charge of the harvest. So it's supposed to be getting the people with the skills and ensuring that the team of the business from the different departments are trained with these tools or systems they can use.
Okay, someone is in the chat sending some information, so I'm also copying and pasting, so we also use that.
So we can also, when it comes to the transport routes, we could also maybe reschedule them properly so that it reduces the time for transportation and fuel use and all that, the distance.
So I think that one we can put in maybe like an efficient routes. We can hit on efficient routing or something, so that we can find the shortest possible routes.
Proper scheduling for an efficient route from warehouse to markets, and then remember, I think also from the farm to the warehouses.
Yeah.
Sorry, from our distribution center.
Yeah, so that's it from how to supplier or I don't know how I want to do it, but
what about adjusting our inventory?
Your what? Come again.
System, inventory rotation system. Adjusting our inventory rotation system.
So there's a first in, first out.
I mean, I think this handles the shelf life.
Yes, but yeah, so I think that yes, so that's what makes sure.
I think you should listen to what he's saying. What he's saying is going to a good point. Please continue. Okay. Talking about the shelf life, yeah.
Yes. So because of the motivation of the shelf life of the harvested or product, right? Assuming it's a product, right? We would need to look at our inventory system. I think I put that in the chat. I don't know how to couch it. What I wrote was adjusting our inventory rotation
system. Yeah, so George, and that's what I was saying. Then I think what you're trying to say, it should be a first in.
Right the English, Samuel. Or you also didn't understand?
All understood.
Okay, so let's write it and move to the next one. So you'll be writing, we discuss the sales return data. Who brought this point, please?
But
is it just about, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to find out, must the decision or outcome directly correspond to the motivation?
Not necessarily. It can be a combination of the motivation factors leading to a decision, or it could be one particular of them. So, for example, disposable income could lead to a particular decision, or a combination of disposable income and then sales return data could lead to one decision. You understand? We are looking at what decisions do you want to make based on this data. So you are the analyst. Yeah. Yes. So that's why I asked you that you have a problem. You have a problem, and then your motivation is to understand these issues so that I can be able to make this decision. If I understand, for example, if you understand regional sales strategy, how will it help you address the declining sales? Maybe the sales strategy is not working well, but maybe where it is working well and where it is not working well. Maybe it's working well in Belgium, but it's not working well in Peru or in UK. I hope you understand me. So that you can consider maybe even going to another market. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So you can combine them. Yeah, you can combine them. But please make sure that your decision is something like either this or that. I hope you understand. I like the one, sales performance trends to unearth regions experiencing low sales decision offering. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good. I like the way I've done this one. Okay, yeah, but it doesn't mean that you all have to be. Sometimes a combination of three of them can give you a decision.
Oh, okay.
I think the one we discuss, I'm considering if secondary sales data and sales return data can be one.
Yes.
I think
So
so
I'm
too.
thinking the customer demographics and the disposable income can be one. That's what I'm
But
thinking.
Let's start with
the customer demographics is too broad. About what? Customer demographics about those who are leaving and those who are buying, the churning out, or those who are buying, or those who are your loyal customers. So it's a little bit vague. This is Europe. You are talking about Europe. Oh, okay, no, you set your own as. You set it for a particular region. So I'm thinking about Europe.
Please, the one who spread the customer demographic, can you speak to it? Or we should discuss what we spoke about together.
Yeah.
But don't focus on just the customer. You can combine customer demographic to something else. I can think that I would like to know whether my loyal customers, how much sales am I making from them, so that I can think about either giving them a premium, differentiating them as compared to trying to cover everybody. For example, maybe let's say that I work with Sainsbury. Sainsbury is giving me a sales of maybe 3,000 bottles in a month, and then I also sell through Max and let's say Asda, and Asda gives me only 1,000 in every 3 months. I think I will see Sainsbury as a premium partner or customer of my products or buyer of my products than rather Asda. Yeah. But maybe I also like keep Asda because Asda is in regions where there are more blacks. And because they do, and because mine is a premium product and the disposable income is quite hard to come by, they may not be able to buy that much. But I still want the connection with the blacks and the Africans. So I'll rather keep selling to Asda with the mind that I'll do a product for them in the next 3 months. That you see how the decision is. So I will still keep, yeah. So please don't think about yourself being in a boardroom. This is not a tool for the data analyst. It's a tool for the executive. So the executive is asking what data is available or is needed for me to examine the sales and what decision can I make out of it. Then you will set the people to work. Somehow I've been trying to train the class with the mindset of being an executive, so that one day you are looking at your data, you understand what you need from the data. Yeah, I'm not treating you as just the data analyst who will just be doing calculations all the time. Yeah. So please just add one or two more, and you have to wrap up soon because we're closing the rooms in about a minute. So add one more.
Thank you, Paul.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, team, let's combine this.
You're going to. There was a point here you want us to combine before you put that point up. On the secondary sales data.
Yeah. Let's combine some of the points together and put this one point there.
Okay. So which are we combining with that secondary sales? Can we add the return? Since we are looking at the wholesale and the retail to see where are we getting the returns in the retail sector or we are getting it with our distributors. And once we have that information, what would be our decision?
So the decision I would suggest maybe rebranding and advertisement. Rebranding and increase.
But that is when you know the root cause of the reason for return.
Yes.
Exactly.
She's right. When you understand the root cause, then you can then decide this. So you analyze the data to understand the root cause, and then to help you to make this decision. You're right. She's making a lot of very insightful contributions. Thank you. I don't know who is that. Is that Brenda or who?
That's Brenda.
Ah,
Our very own.
Well, today
no
someone
wonder.
said
See,
Brenda.
I didn't
Today
even check. I didn't even check. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, so the risk.
Okay. Wow. That's group 3, my people. Hey. Your motivations. Can you arrange it nicely so that we can see them clearly? Motivation should be on top and the list should be beneath it. Can you arrange it nicely? Hey, but I've not done even one decision. Please hurry up. We are closing up to the next to join the main group. So add one decision, one outcome. By knowing this data, what decision can you make? Either you take them one by one or you combine some of them. For example, plot sizes cultivated and agronomic practices. What can that be? What kind of decision can the two lead you to? Time of harvesting and post-harvest handling. Wow.
When a new competitor emerges, there's a form of assurance that the company won't experience any form of shortage since the new competitor may also source from the farmers. Kezia, this is very fantastic, but I think currently we have taken one side of it, and our situation here is the nosedive in the quantity and quality of pineapples, and that is what we've also written the motivation around. So this is also laudable, all right, but right now we have chosen our situation with respect to the problem.
Thank you very much. That's a very good answer. But she has also a good point. Maybe she can start one on her own. But can you move on to your decision? Because time is you are behind time. So
Very well, sir.
Yeah.
Our outcome done.
Yeah,
Our outcome.
yeah. So either you pick one after the other for each of them, or you combine some of them. Because some of them, by combining, is what you get a better decision.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So do that one. I'll come back. I'm going to go on one.
No, or even if they were trained when they were employed afterwards, maybe in years or months, have they received in-house training on the job?
Group 1, you started late, but the work you are doing is now PhD level. I'm be scared.
Prof, we intentionally wait.
I'm really surprised.
So under the distance from the farm to production, I don't know, can we look at if like the other way, when we are given the product, the distance or the conditions the products are in, when we are transporting the products from the warehouse to the customer or the retail?
I think under this,
I mean, where would we put that one? Okay, please go ahead.
No, under a distance, something just came in mind. I was also thinking of maybe the routes they use, the road network.
Okay.
Okay. So can it be like the distribution?
If they have very bad road networks,
exactly,
it will affect the quality of the products.
Exactly.
You may handle the product so well at the factory level, but in transporting it, if the roads are bad, you have get to your destination, the cartons that you even package the stuff in may get damaged, or I mean, like you may get it's being bad when the road network.
Okay, I think the distance, let's refine it. The distance, because here we have stated straight to the point that distance from the farm to the production, but now we have come to acknowledge that we are not only looking at from the farm to production, but also to the end user.
So can we do
It can be transportation and distribution.
Yes.
Okay.
We can. Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we want more points, so we can make them different to be able to explain them more. Because like I said earlier on, the transportation, if the truck they are using is also faulty, if it's faulty, it's possible that along the line, the driver will not even get to the destination at all.
Please, can I add that. No, what you're saying is right. Pick continue type. I'm not stopping that. I'm saying that you need to add one column for your decisions. So this your data. What decision can it help you make? But note that sometimes the decision can be dependent on two of the motivations. So, for example, I can combine the data from preservatives concentration with storage cooling facility data, and I can make a decision. So, if you like, I would advise that your decision could be listed below, so that you can combine it anyhow you want to combine it. But if you write it in the row format, you are actually forcing the decision to be based on that particular row. So distance from the production, distance covered, and you have written the data there. Then what decision is it going to lead you? I don't know whether I understand what I'm trying to say. You have got very good points here. The decisions you are going to take is an issue. But why do you have the first column empty? Are we going to put something?
And so I was about to say, we can delete that and let us start from motivation. Then we have the data.
Then add the decision. Add the decision to
yes.
Okay. But you need to do it fast because you have got just about 2 minutes. Not much.
What? Okay.
But we have got other practice questions we'll be looking at. So
please let's look at the decision.
Decisions. Okay. So what advice the decisions could be based on? Wow, I didn't even know you had a long one. So distance from
Please, can we look at the decision?
This distance from the farm to the production, what can it do? Maybe it can help you examine whether the challenge you are facing, the spoilage, is coming from either the condition of the track, or the fact that the cold chain. No, this one is not even cold. Is it from goods from the farm to warehouse? So you don't know about cold chain, but maybe the bad conditions of the road affects the integrity of the product as you are traveling. You know, pineapples can be fragile when they shake a lot in the car and they rub each other. They can get bruised. Yeah.
And also, the type of car, whether it's air conditioned or not, can also.
No, that was
the heat. Yeah, the cold chain. Yeah, right. The cold chain.
Another point. We had that on another point.
Okay.
The quality of good.
Okay,
the quality of the goods
cooling
delivered at the warehouse. Okay. No, not being transported. By the time you arrive, it's
okay.
By the time. Okay. So if you do that, then you don't have data for it. You have to say that distance and covered and road quality and distance covered in your data part. Otherwise, it can't lead to the decision. Do you realize it? Your decision part, it should be road quality and distance covered. Add just road quality before the distance. No, not that part. Not that part. Your data part.
Where the data. Okay.
You need your data says distance. You didn't add quality of the road. So just add road quality and distance covered. Road quality in front of the distance. In front of distance. No, in front of the distance.
The first point. No, the first
one.
Okay.
So
road quality, distance, and distance covered.
Good. You know that if the road quality is poor, the distance will also be. It will take time.
Will be bad.
Yeah. In fact, distance and time. You can do distance plus time. Don't just do distance. It's a plus time. Because they go together. Yeah.
Okay.
So, earlier, one of you said that if there's a lot of heat in the vehicle and the distance is taking much more time, it means that the quality of the product delivered will be poor.
Yes. Okay, but I think the decisions, we are just looking at the bad road condition. Okay, so
I think for the decision as well.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so
I was coming to say that maybe you can get a shorter
and affect the quality of goods. The bad condition of the road leads to a lot of things. More distance is covered. More time is spent. Yeah.
So, and also examine if the condition of the track is affecting the distance of the
poorly
the transportation.
Service track.
Yeah.
If poorly service trucks. You know, they service the truck often. You buy the truck brand new, maybe poorly service trucks. Okay. Contribute. Okay. Okay, good. So poorly service truck can affect the cold chain, the temperature levels in the car. There's so many variables could be in there. Yeah. That's good.
Thank you.
Preservative
Prof.
concentration, quantity or amount of preservatives used over years. Preservative brands used over the years. Okay. So what you could do is that they could do that specific preservatives affect
the quality of the
quality, the quality, yeah. The quality and taste too, not just the quality.
Yes.
Taste and even color. Taste and color. Good. Okay, let me leave you. Please just use 1 minute to do the next one. You may not do all, but I think
okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Prof.
Okay, please let's look at the storage and cooling facility. Number
all produce harvested from their plots. When we do it that way, we can factor in what Kezia mentioned. In that way, it's going to affect our quantity. They cultivated full plots, but however, they did not hand over all the crops harvested from their plot to us. Maybe they gave out some. So in that case, the loyalty intervention will come to play. Please, do we agree?
Hey, Daniel. Daniel,
Yes.
I'm also looking at Kezia's points as an opportunity. If we can also look at it from that point of view, because Kezia is also saying that we can look at build loyalty partnerships. So that I see that as an opportunity for the company to build loyalty with the farmers, so that they can produce, like supply more produce, and then we wouldn't be experiencing any shortages, even if our competitors source from them. So I see it more of an opportunity. I don't know if anybody else is saying the same thing.
So I think we can put, just like I said, we can put under the motivation, we will put data on farmers who submitted all their produce or all their produce cultivated from their plots. And then in our outcome,
So
we will identify those farmers.
Why don't we capture it under another heading as opportunity? We have about 60 seconds.
So I've seen two with the possible outcomes.
Which opportunity? What do you mean by the opportunity? The opportunity, is it under outcome, motivation, or situation? Those are what we are working with.
An opportunity could be the situation. You guys look at it as
the situation.
If
the
it's
situation.
That will affect everything you are doing. But an opportunity could also be an outcome. The thing is that you decide whether these decisions, maybe knowing this and knowing this, could help you make this particular decision, which could be taking advantage of an opportunity. For example, the time of harvesting and the plot size. You realize that particular farmers are able to harvest faster than others. So you want to take advantage of that. The time is 7 seconds more. You can type it on your own. Thank you very much. Excellent work so far. Excellent work so far. It's been quite interesting. I've seen a diversity of different contributions from different people, and it's quite interesting to note that everybody has a different view of how to address this issue. Okay. Okay. So let's start to group 4.
Yes, Doc.
Yeah. Group 4, you can, Winnie, you can share your screen.
I'll be sharing it and Winnie will be presenting, please.
Okay,
So
then.
I'm about to share. Winnie, can you see, please?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so please take it away.
Good evening, everyone. So this is the presentation from Group 4. Our question was problem 1, which said the Ghana Fresh Quality Assurance Manager requests a report on product spoilage. So this is the situation we deduced, that when the Quality Assurance Manager was reviewing the weekly quality control reports and noticed a sudden spike in spoilage rates in harvested products and processed juices from Accra Distribution Center. So that is what happened. He noticed the spike. And then we had to find the motivation and investigate. The first thing we considered was the product variety, cultivation, and harvest procedures. And this is one thing that can impact greatly on everything we are talking about product spoilage. The variety might require a certain amount of attention during cultivation time and might also require specialized harvesting procedures. So those need to be investigated. Again, the storage conditions, definitely that would impact on the product spoilage as well, because is it optimal? Is it too hot? Is it too cold? Are there infestations in the area where it is being stored? So we considered that as well. We also considered the number of kilometers and the duration from farm or production area to distribution center. At this moment, our major concern is about our cold chain. And so the distance from the farm when the products are harvested to where we distribute, what is happening? Is it too long? Is it too short? So we think that is data we can work with. Looking at the distance, we calculate it and then realize, are we making losses on spoilage when the distance is at a certain level, or something is happening on the road at certain times? So that is also something that we would consider. We also realized that at this point, the expertise of the labor is also something that we need to consider. Are they well vested in handling such products? Have they been educated in it? Or do they have the specialized skill to do it? Are they responsive when something goes wrong? I know that it wouldn't be a perfect process. So should something go wrong, what is their response time? What is their turnaround time? What do they know what to do in any point in time when something goes wrong? And so we also looked at packaging, what type of packaging we are using to package the product. Where are we even sourcing the package? Is it being done correctly? Are we using the right one? Is bottle better for such products? So that is also data we wanted to work with. And then I think I've already mentioned the issue about the cold chain and then the temperature level. We also looked at shelf life. And more often than not, products like fresh food and juices have very short shelf life. So how is it being considered? How is it being managed in the Ghana Fresh company? Based on all these areas of investigation and motivation, we came up with this decision outcomes. That first of all, there needs to be the implementation of revised cold chain and then handling protocols. They need to be properly studied, and then if there is the need for any form of change, it is done. The temperature needs to be monitored. Maybe we get a tracking system that can actually track the temperature from point A to point B. And if there is anything that needs to be done between that time to avoid the spoilage, Again, we have to employ specialized labor. In case we don't have an expert on our team to look at how these products should be handled correctly, and aside even employing, it is good to give on-the-job training to the ones that we already have, so that they maintain a certain standard in their day-to-day work in Ghana Fresh. We have also looked at efficient routes, maybe use some data to consider the time that we will move, because there are certain times, especially if you are moving in Accra during the rush hour, traffic is going to distort your journey. So we have to look at the routes, plan them accordingly. And then it should also coincide with when
Before you are saying everything, so it's enough. You have let a lot.
Oh, say.
You have done very
Thank you.
well. So let's
Thank
get group 3.
My teammates, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, Prof doesn't want us to say it all.
Prof, you see, we just need 4 more to do more, and I think that's good.
No, we'll come back to it. Group 1 also did
10 marks,
problem 1. So I want to know, yes, please, the group that you are in, write your name, get your names together. If I forgot to tell them, but the group that you are in, write your names. I'm sorry that some people are in the group, they are not talking, so don't add them to your group. So write your names. And please, group 3, go ahead. Go ahead for us. We need to wrap up and then go to other. There are about 2 other models we want to learn. Yeah, that's good. Okay, good. This is a very good one too. Please, can you just bolden your situation, your motivation outcome, so that it doesn't confuse us as we are looking at the screen?
Prof, a quick one. Please, with the groupings for the projects, we've already done it. I sent it to you on WhatsApp.
Oh, then please, I'm not. The project that I don't have a problem. I'm even going to have an announcement with you next week. We are going to look at the what's the name? The presentation times and stuff. And I want to agree with you what will best work for you. So we'll discuss that. So start meeting and start working. I don't have a problem about that. Start working on that.
Okay.
But sure. I'm just saying that
I'll send it again.
Yes, please. And then send it to me directly.
Okay, sure.
Okay. And then introduce yourself and your name. Okay. Then.
Yes, please. I'm the coach.
Oh, okay, Abigail. You have been worrying me plenty. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Abigail.
You're welcome, sir.
You know, I sometimes I get confused when there's another student in one of the cohorts too. Not your cohort, the other sandwich cohort, and it confuses me. Now I know I'll make it. Now I have to link it to the phone number, then I can be finished. Okay, so let's say this one. Can you go ahead and present? I don't know who is presenting on your behalf. Group 3. We are waiting. Hey, group 3.
Okay, Prof.
Okay.
Hello, Prof. I'll present. So we are presenting on the problem. The Ghana Fresh Farmer Relations Manager requests a list of all farmers in the Eastern region. And on this problem, the situation we carved out was is a nosedive in the quantity and quality of pineapples produced by all farmers in the Eastern region. Our motivation, number 1, the quantity of grade A pineapples harvested per farmer and farmers who consistently meet quality and quantity targets. With respect to our situation, since we are interested in quantity and quality, our grade A, we want to know the quantity of grade A pineapples that were produced per every farmer. And we know that subsequently, any other pineapple that was produced by that farmer will be grade B or any other grade. And that will let us know the quantity of grade A from any other grade, and also the quality wise. 2, the variety of pineapple seeds that were planted. I'm sure every variety has a unique characteristic. So if, let's say, some farmers planted a variety which is very, very critical, it needs more attention and then certain handling or agronomic practices, we'll have to identify those varieties that were planted to be able to know why we have quantity or quality issues. Then 3, we have the agronomic practices undertaken by each farmer. This will help us know farmers who were not able to stick to timely interventions when it comes to agronomic practices, because those things affect quality and then quantity. Maybe fertilizer application, pesticide applications were done at a later date or time, and that one can affect the quantity and quality of of pineapple. Maybe in the sense that when fertilizer is not applied at the right time, when the plant needs it, when it's applied at a later time, the plant might not be able to make maximum usage of the fertilizer, and that can affect the quantity, the quantity the plant can produce, of pineapples the plant can produce. And then with respect to, let's say, the quality, maybe pesticide was applied not too long ago, and then harvesting was done. It can affect the quality of the taste of maybe the pineapple. Then 4, we have the plot sizes cultivated. Maybe there are some farmers who might have cultivated all their plots, and then other farmers who were not able to cultivate maybe all their plots. Maybe one farmer has 4 acres but was able to cultivate only 2 acres. We also have to find out the reasons why that happened, and then we can intervene. Then the time of harvesting and post-harvest handling. We all know this plays a critical role when it comes to quantity and then quality. Maybe the farmers did not harvest their pineapples on time, and those even who harvested it on time, and the way they handled it, depending on the interventions that were used during the post-harvest handling, might affect the quantity. Maybe if they were not handled well in transport, some might have fallen and all that. They might get injured, and then it will affect the quality. And when it affects the quality, it will also affect the quantity of grade A that we'll be getting. So our outcome. So we are going to identify and prioritize farmers with agronomic practices challenges and provide the necessary interventions. This encompasses maybe the input. Maybe farmers were not able to get inputs because of financial challenges. Farmers were not also able to apply, if they had the input, they were not able to apply it at the right time because they lost track of maybe time. And then also those who maybe depend on rain instead of, let's say, irrigation, those who depend on rain, and because of failure of the weather, they were not able to get enough water to help the plants grow well. So we are going to identify these things, and then we'll intervene. Then we'll also identify farmers who constantly meet quantity and quality targets and provide them with some loyalty benefits. When we do this, it's going to motivate these farmers. So in case there's any competitor who also contacts these farmers, the farmers will have allegiance to us because of the loyalty benefits they gain from us. They will not be willing, or they may not give their produce to any of our competitors. And this is going to help us maintain or furthermore increase our quantity and quality targets. Thank you very much, sir.
Good one. Thank you very much. Please, do any group member have a question? Anybody in the audience have a question for them? Just for a short. Okay. Now, my question was that you were looking at quantity and quality, but at the end of the day, you didn't tell us anything about the fact that there could be a difference between the quantity that you harvest and the quantity that is actually accepted for production to be squeezed. Because sometimes between the time you travel from where you harvested to the time you take it to the place where you are going to do the production and turn it into fresh juice, there could be the product quality could be compromised, and you may have to drop some. So which factor is capturing, which of the variables is capturing that one? Which of the data is capturing that one?
Number 5, under motivation, time of harvesting and post-harvest handling.
Oh, post-harvest handling is very broad though. It's not, it's so broad. So time of harvesting and post-harvest, but that has nothing to do with quantity or quality. So the way I've stated the variable, it doesn't factor quantity into it. I'm just telling you that sometimes some of the variables you use are very, very broad variables that has other, we call them broad indicators that have other leading indicators or input indicators into them. So there are so many other variables within it. But if it's possible for you to state the actual one you need, state it. Because post-harvest handling is a lot of things. It's a lot of things, yeah. And there are a lot of post-harvest steps.
We can't hear you.
Packaging.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Please, we lost you. We lost you, sir.
Oh, sorry. I said post-harvest handling is a very broad variable. It has so many other indicators in there that make it post-harvest handling. So if you could state the actual one you want, because when you say time of harvesting and post-harvest handling, it doesn't necessarily link to quantity or quality. What about it links to quantity or quality? When you say variety of pineapple seeds planted, I understand. When you say agronomic practices taken by each farmer, I understand. Time of harvesting and post-harvest handling. In fact, there are two different variables I have combined even.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And then
so maybe the time of harvesting, maybe we have.
Okay. So optimal time of harvesting.
Sir.
So time of harvesting versus what? Time of harvesting and vis-a-vis or versus quantity of pineapple accepted for production. I would like that one. That means that when I harvest in the morning, my quantity is usually 3 bags. When I harvest in the evening, my quantity that's accepted is about 6 bags. So you are realizing that some time of harvesting affects the quantity. Maybe in the morning, the boys are lazy, but in the afternoon or evening, they are quite more motivated or something like that. So time of harvesting and then quantity of pineapples accepted for production, or even quantity of pineapples rejected. That could also be accepted or rejected for production. So it could be the two variables will work, accepted or rejected. So afternoon harvesting and there are more rejections, I rather harvest in at early morning. So you see now it makes sense, but all of this is post-harvest handling issues. So good.
Very well said. Very well said.
Please, I hope you are learning about how to be able to identify the right factors the right data that you need. Thank you very much. Actually, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. So can we go to the next group 2? Then we'll wrap up with group 1. 8:20. I wish I can speed it up. But your group is large. That I'm not surprised because most of the groups are usually 30, 40. So okay, let's look at this one. Who is presenting on our behalf? Is it Samuel himself?
Hi, Prof. Yes, I am.
Okay, so Samuel, sharp.
Okay,
Situation.
yes, so the situation is declining sales across several regions, and the motivations are as follows. So the first is monthly record of sales from each region. Purpose is to identify the sales trends over all the regions that JTBD sells in. Then also the second and very important one is the secondary sales data. So when we talk of secondary sales data, we mean sales numbers, which are between wholesale and retail, not the final consumer, so that we are actually able to analyze and know whether the products are actually getting to the final customer to consume and not being stockpiled in the retail centers. Okay. Then we also spoke about sales return data, because this is also important, because to know your net sales, you also have to consider the return. So you can have a lot of sales going out, but then when customers also return a lot of it, then the net is that there's a nosedive in your overall sales numbers. Then also inventory levels and stock outs. So this relates to both raw materials and then the final finished product. So the motivation is to know whether the regions have adequate raw materials in stock to produce the finished good, and also if they also have good stock of the finished good in store, so that we'll be able to see, okay, so for region A, there's so much of the finished product sitting in the warehouse, but then for region B, there's not so much, and that's rather demand is higher than supply. Then we can make decisions such as moving some of the finished good from one region to another. Then also customer demographics. Very related to that is disposable income. Finally, we spoke about regional sales strategy as one of the motivation. So let's quickly look at the outcomes and decisions. So the first is that sales performance trends. The purpose is to unearth the regions experiencing low sales numbers, so low sales outturn. So some of the decisions we can take there is offering training to sales reps in low performing regions so they can up their game and then push the products to the final customer. And then also discover the customers, the rate of return per region. So return is a factor of many things, quality being one, even the packaging quality. Maybe people are returning the product because it was poorly packaged. It's not fitting. Maybe the package is not working in their region. Maybe it's extremely hot where they are or extremely cold where they are. So we have to change the way we are packaging the product in certain regions so that we can reduce the rate of return in those regions. Then we can also intensify advertising also to as a measure to overturn the high return rate. Then also, we are also talking about the sales strategy, whether it's working. Now, every company, for instance, Ghana Fresh would have a generic sales strategy that this is what we are going to do. But then we can also analyze the effectiveness of the sales strategy per region to say, is this strategy actually working in this region? Or we can tailor the sales strategy for this particular region and then deploy certain region-specific nuances in how we sell in those regions so that we can reach those people. For instance, if you are selling in a Black community, there's a way you can go about it. If you are selling in a community that's predominantly white and elite, you have to also know how to position your marketing message out there. Then finally, also, okay, last but not the least, last but one. So we're also going to use the disposable income levels data that we collect to determine how we are going to allocate the finished goods per region. For instance, regions with high disposable income would have more finished product allocation. Those also inform us on how to go about our pricing per region. We can offer some promotions and some discounts in regions that have low disposable income as compared to those with high ones. Yeah, so this is in a summary what we spoke about. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, any questions for him?
Wow, I have two hands.
Yes, please. First person, you can go ahead.
Hello, this is Winnie.
Okay.
Hi, Winnie.
Mine is not necessarily a question, but to add, the
Yes.
issue about the return.
Yeah.
Having worked in retail for some time, more often than not, the reason doesn't have much to do with the rebranding, the branding, because they already bought the product based on how it looked. So they would return it mostly because of the quality of what is inside the package. So I am thinking that maybe we should look at yes, the quality, the content of what is in the packaging. So that is a more, yeah, rather
Just to
than
answer you, I think we actually also spoke about this. So
okay.
we spoke more on the package quality. So it wasn't okay. I think we wrote rebranding, but it's more on the package. So let's say it's a box containing juice, and they are having frequent leakages because of
Okay.
the weather condition or something. So that's what he's highlighted. So it's more on the product package quality. So maybe the rebranding, that's what actually we meant by that.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you, Winnie.
Okay. I see more hands up, but you have to let group one to present. So let me hear from Derek, and then
Hi, Prof. So, under the customer demographics, I wanted to know if there was a portion where there is like there is a portion where they take feedback from the customers, the buyers themselves.
customer
I don't know if
insight.
yeah, customer insights more or less, because that's
Okay,
could
that would
also
have been better
be
than maybe just
yeah,
making customer.
customer demographics.
I understand what you're saying. Okay, okay. Do you want to? I don't. I think this is a recommendation that we can add. I told them when they wrote customer demographic, I asked them that it's very broad, and you may want to link it with something. But customer insights versus customer demographics will work well. The way you are answering the question, this will be an exam question. So Abigail, remind me that this is one of the exam questions.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm taking it like welcome. Okay. Okay, please, group one, problem one, group one, come back again, and let's see what we can learn from you too.
So, please, I'm going to share my screen so that someone from my group will present.
We
Thank you.
understand. It's well accepted.
Someone, Ninote, please, you can go ahead.
All right, so the situation or the problem has to do with an increase in product spoilage. And then we are looking at a few factors like data on it and the decisions we made on that. So our first motivation has to do with distance from the farm to the production end. And then we require data on the road quality. So the factors we were looking at, the first one we looked at was the road quality and the distance from the farms to the shelves or even the distributing ends of the product. So if the road quality is that of a bad one, it affects the outcome of the product. For instance, we may package our products in cartons and all of that, and if you have bad road conditions, it's going to affect how the product gets to the final destination. And also the distance. When the road networks are bad, definitely we'll spend more time on the road than the usual time we have to cover. And then we're looking at the condition of the tracks you use as well. We are saying if the tracks are having very bad conditions, again, they will affect the turnaround time for transporting our goods from the farm to the production centers. Then our next motivation has to do with preservation and concentration. We talked about the quality and then the amount of preservatives used over the years. So you're saying if our products are having preservatives that are so artificial, they end up having a bad effect on our product, and it affects the lifespan of our product, thereby making it spoil frequently. We also look at the preservative brands that we use over the years, and if they are actually having positive impact on our product or adverse one. If they're having adverse effect on our products, then there's the need for us to change those preservatives. The next factor we looked at has to do with storage and then the cooling system of our facilities. Be it the storage point or even the tracks, our cooling tracks we use for transporting our products. That's an area that we focused on. If they are in bad shapes or they are not able to keep up to a certain temperature, they will negatively have impact on our product. And so by the time it gets to the distribution end, they will end up being in bad conditions. Then again, the distribution of power out like utilities. So if we have frequent power outage, definitely it's going to have a bad effect on our product as well. And then, so also we talked about the cooling and maintenance history of our cooling system. Same thing. If we don't have frequent maintenance on our cooling systems and on our tracks that has cooling system to transport our products, at the end of the day, our products will be spoiling frequently. So that's an area of motivation. Then we looked at packaging. We are looking at how we package our product. For instance, if we are using cartons, like paper packages, and they are not able to preserve our products very well, should we be looking at using metal ones instead or plastic ones? So packaging plays a role in that. And then again, how do we seal our product to make sure that it's not tampered with in the course of transportation or even when they are on the shelves? If nobody tampers with them, how do we package them so well that we are sure that how we left them is how they are going to be kept until the final consumer gets access to it? Our next motivational factor has to do with staff handling. So we are looking at the staff, how they handle the products before we even send them out, and even in the course of transportation, and even at the time where we have them on the shelves, how are they handled? Are they handled under hygienic conditions? What's the mindset of our staff? Are they quality insurance bias, or they do things anyhow? Of course, if they don't take hygiene into high esteem, they are going to handle our products anyhow, and we might end up getting sometimes outbreaks, infections, and all that on our products. And considering the fact that these are fresh produce, definitely has negative effect on our products. So yes, staff handling, how hygienic they handle our staff. So these are areas and these are motivations. Now to our decisions. So the first point, I don't know if you can come up, Priscilla. So we look at our decisions.
What you are reading, we're actually seeing the decisions come out too. So don't worry too much about that. I was actually understanding what you said, because you actually just relating with you. I don't know the rest of the class. For example, staff handling, observe hygiene and handling parties at all points, organize fresh and this. Okay, that's you see the way you have actually done your decision is more action points. So you're not evaluating between 2 points. You are just saying that if I have this is what I will end up doing, which is more straightforward. So it seems that your data was going to speak to a particular action. Am I right?
Yes, exactly what it is, Prof.
Thank you very much. Okay, so now let's come back to mine because of time. But thank you very much. In fact, there are diverse views here. But what is very interesting is all the approaches have got something unique. I want to share try to bring all the approaches together into something that I've learned from today. And I think it helps us to be able to know how to respond in examination settings. Kelvin, your hand is up. So please, can you speak fast so that I can present my plan?
Okay, Prof. So thank you. I just with the first question. We didn't talk about government policies, and I think with the ecosystem in general, whereby there can be droughts and other stuff which goes beyond human interventions and all that, and especially the governmental policies, whereby Ghana we have something that is affecting cocoa producers, whereby if they are exporting, they have some good form of doing that as compared to other crop or other fruits. If you can talk about that one as well.
You could have actually asked ourselves from the beginning that in the situation, could our spoilage be an outcome of or a result of guaranteed practice which in nearby towns closer to our farms? Then what data do we need to be able to establish that? That could have been the question we would have asked. Do you understand me?
Yes, Prof. Yes, Prof.
So good. That's a very good point. Okay, so this is what I put together earlier before the class. But after the class, I'll show you what I've learned after your class, which my class. When I see sudden increase in spoilage reports from Accra, remember I didn't give a lot of details, so everybody was using a hypothesis. I said that okay, reports from Accra distribution center. I want to trace the affected batches back to a specific farm. So somebody talked about traceability. One of the groups talked about traceability, harvest date, and transport vehicle. It was also mentioned, so it's so good. So I can recall potentially bad produce before it reaches the retailers and identify if the issue is a harvesting problem or a cold chain failure. This is very good for high-level discussion. But in this particular one, I have only three data sources: specific farm data, harvest date, and transport vehicle use. Now, if you look at it, I'm combining the three to generate one decision. Choose between harvesting problem or cold chain. And that's what I was telling you that sometimes some of the data sources you find can combine and generate one outcome for you. Okay. Then number two, when preparing for my weekly call with the regional sales team, I want to compare the sales volume of, so that's this one, he was seeing it more of something that he does quite often with kind of a management power with his regional team manager, maybe every Monday morning. So what would you be comparing? The sales volume of high margin products like organic pineapples against low margin products like bulk cassava in each territory or in each region, as somebody said, so that I can decide to focus my team's effort and which products will need a promotional push. I think somebody mentioned that too about doing some better rebranding and positioning of the product, which is also good. And I think something that I wanted to also point out is that I didn't see it come out so much, but the seasonality of fresh juice. Sometimes maybe it's selling more in summertime than in winter. So you may want to look at the seasonality of the product. Or maybe in winter, people there are more people having holidays who are in town and they are buying more as compared to your springtime. Or in spring, people do a lot of lemonade, so you are doing better in spring than other. The competition in spring is high and you are losing out. Maybe so you could actually have looked at the seasonality of the product too, and you could have asked for fresh juice sales across. So somebody asked a question in one of the groups, Prof, where will I get fresh juice sales data? And I'll come back to it right now. I think I forgot to even tell the other groups. Okay, but I'll come back to it. Then Ghana Fresh Farmer Relations request a list of all farmers. Okay, so what could we be? Maybe you are planning for your planting schedule for the next season. You want to know farmers who are doing better than others. I think somebody mentioned it when you look at group 3 too. And those who have met our quality and volume targets versus those who are struggling to do so. And then prioritize whether you give them some financing or agronomy support. So this is very, very, it's no brainer. This is what I'll use the data for if I get it for planting, if I was going to do planting. But if I was thinking about assessing whether some farmers are doing better than the others, I could actually just check their productivity versus maybe the amount of support I'm giving them in the past planting season and see whether they have been able to leverage it very well. It could be okay. What you did was not wrong because I didn't give you any details. I told you to formulate your own problem and then define your own situation and answer it. What I wanted to understand how you link situation to your motivation and then to the outcome. Now, what have I learned from today's class, which I've not learned through the 300, but I've learned from today's class, is that we need to, I saw three different things. In the situation, I saw some of you say, I'm reviewing, I'm observing this, I'm exploring. I also saw that some people were forecasting, and I'm also considering, others were also considering. So I came up with this verb saying that at the situation level, you can explore between this type of verbs. Are you reviewing the data, are you, or the situation, or are you observing a decline? Are you exploring whether there could be there have been a decline or not a decline? Or are you just considering to take an initiative? Maybe you want to partner with somebody in a different market. Or are you forecasting what will happen? Motivation. Because of the situation, I need to understand what. Because of the situation, I need data on what. Because of the situation, I need to know what. That's also I learned from them. And I think I learned the know from group 3, and I think the data from almost all the group, all of you are doing it. But I need to understand it's something I brought to the session already. But today I've learned about I need data on this, and I need to know. Group 1 like this, we're using data. They had a whole column on data. So I need data on that. So group 1, thank you very much. And group 3 and 4, thank you for helping us to also need to know. Okay, then you go to the academic decision. You see group 2 combining one or two of them to be able to make a decision. So based on the data, A or B or both, I can decide between this, or I can choose, like what we saw with group 1 at now. I can choose to do this based on group C and D, data on C and D, or D, C, or like data on C, or data on D, or data on both, or data on A, B, C, D. I can choose to do this. So based on the hygiene, they have some 3 data on staff etiquette or staff handling, staff hygiene. So I saw something like that there, and I saw that they were making a choice. So that gives you I can choose to do this. So please, we have got some flexibility with the model. But what I wanted to establish right now is that we all understand the model. We can apply it to anything that we are given. If you throw us a scenario, we can take a situation and ask ourselves, what are we looking at? Okay, maybe your boss tells you that I've heard that there is people we could be reporting of a low turnout in this upcoming event. Okay, so what is leading to this presumption will be the motivation or the situation. Because of the what has led to the presumption, they look for the data sources leaving the presumption. Maybe the rate at which people are signing up for the event as compared to last year is lower. Last year, by the second week, around 2,000 people have signed up. This year, the second week, we just even have only 100 people signing up. So you could presume somebody can forecast that we may be having a very poor sale this time. So please use this flexible approach to handle the data, to handle the framework. So the JTDB focuses on the goal, user's goal and context, and not the technical solution. So it's more, it helps us to translate vague requests into specific user-centric problems. When I have this situation, I want to do this so that I can expect this outcome. And that's what I've summarized in the table. Thank you very, very much for your input. The next variable, the next one that we want to look at, but not into so much detail, but because most of you understand this, looking at the corporate nature in this classroom, is the SMART framework. And the SMART framework is quite a number of people know as specific, measurable, attainable, achievable, realistic, and then timely. Okay, so the S is for specific. So you could have the specific on what you want to do, a clear goal. And I saw clear goals being defined in the assignment that we just did right now. Reduce post-harvest loss due to spoilage on the European export route. Very specific on where it should happen. Measurable. That reduction should be what? Maybe could be reduce loss from 30% to 10%. Okay. Attainable. That by achievable by, why is it achievable? It's achievable because by investing in real-time temperature monitoring, optimizing field to pack house cooling times. This is what you have been exploring as your motivation. If you have data on this, it can help you to be able to address the problem. So it's achievable because you know that if you invest in real-time temperature monitoring, and I think somebody said something about also temperature monitoring, and then optimizing fuel to pack house cooling time. It was also mentioned in your example, but not in the exact words. But I think someone also mentioned that, then realistic. The target is feasible because it is supported by the proprietary harvest optimization model. So what have you done to make it look as a realistic goal for you within your resources? So within the environment, have you been able to define the way you are going to address it? And I like the JTBD because the JTBD makes you make decisions based on what you can do and what will best serve you as a user, or best serve the client that you're actually engaging with or consulting for. And if you are able to define the solution within the person's resources, the person can think that this is a realistic goal they have set for me. I think I can be able to achieve it because it's defined within my resources. Time bound, specific. When do you want to achieve it? When do you want to see that result come up? When do you want to see that result come up? So that's with a smart framework. Not that anything strange. We're quite used to it in many business circles. Now, what is quite different is the overall evaluation criterion. What does it do? It basically says that whenever you have got a decision, look at it from two competing parts, so that you can use that one to help you make the decision. So, for example, you are establishing you have established a ride-hailing app. Your OEC might be balancing competing parts, satisfaction and speed. So what does it mean? What do I mean by that? For example, if you focus on speed alone, that's reducing the wait time. So you want to just assign drivers as soon as people just call for a ride. What will then happen is that you may end up getting the speed achieved, but you may be pairing people with very sloppy drivers and poorly matched drivers. They may not be very good, less experienced, and you're giving them to people who are expecting more value. So if you don't take care, your rider satisfaction will be very, very low because you're giving to a sloppy driver who is also thinking about speed. So he wants to get to the next destination so fast that he's riding on the shoulder of the road. He's bypassing other people in an unruly manner, and he's even trying to make sure that he jumps red lights. All of these things, you don't want to arrive just fast. You want to arrive also well. Going fast does not mean that you have gone well. So if you by focusing just on speed as the denominator, what happens is that you would have actually been able to arrive faster. But what would have happened is that maybe the satisfaction level for the consumer has been lost. He's not happy. It's just like those of you who have taken Ford car to Kumasi before. The car is speeding and you're holding your heart. So your heart is just in your hand. As it's doing overtaking, you're just praying. Because somehow the car is going fast, but you don't know whether you arrive in Kumasi. And people can get there. I don't know if you have experienced that before. I didn't take Ford. I think I've taken Ford once, but there's another one, Peugeot, the Caravan.
There's another one to 2M Express also.
Okay. I didn't know about that one. There was a Peugeot some time ago, and I was doing some project, and then the first time I got $3,500. That's 2000. This is 2003, 2002, 2002. I thought I've been given $3,500 paid to me in Accra, and I went to do some project for PPH. That's Planned Parenthood of Ghana, Organization of Ghana, Association of Ghana. Okay, so when we got paid, we went to town and went to buy. Well, that time we were in Kumasi, we wanted to do show, so we went to buy TVs, and then we bought some sound systems and things. We put them in the car. Now coming back to Kumasi, we had to take our own Peugeot. And the person who joined us bought a cow, a goat, and sat in the front seat. And we were at the back with our TVs. We carried the TV. And the way the guy was speeding between Accra to Kumasi, we carried our heart throughout the journey. Anyway, so please, and then we're also carrying money. In fact, would you believe that the day that they paid us the money, we went to sleep in some hotel in Accra. We couldn't even sleep. We put the money under because you're going to give $1 at that time. You have to go and change. So we change it and we turned it into a pillow, wrapped it, and then we slept on it. Interesting. Remember, it's a very good time. That small time consultants. our company was called Eternity Creations. That was our name of our company. We're designing multimedia apps for people. Anyway, so sometimes you get there fast, but you may not get there well, and the consumer may not be happy. Number two, if you also focus too much on satisfaction, then making sure that you get the best, the most perfect driver. That's the 5-star drivers to consumers all the time, especially on campus, and you got your lectures, you want to get a 5-star. They are now waiting for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes for one ride to just move from here to maybe Eastleigh. They'll get frustrated because they'll say that the average wait time is too much. So what OEC says is that, how do you balance these two variables? Because if you concentrate on one of them too much, it will cost you. But somebody asked me a question: how do you then know the variables that matter? It all depends on every person. The situation that you face, you have to say, what are the two variables that matter? For example, when you're choosing to come and do this program in UG, what are the two variables that matter to you? Brenda, let me even ask Brenda. Brenda, what are the two variables that made you choose coming to this program?
Okay. First was we set up a data analytics team in our marketing division, and they did a very good work in assessing the top 15,000 out of almost 30 million customers, and the information was amazing. I mean, they called it volumetrics, and it was showing, the usage against 4 different factors. And I mean, the data was vast. It was very detailed, and it was something I really wish I could do. So one of my decisions came from there.
Okay, and then the second one.
And the second one, so for where I work, I with credit control, and so we do collections for postpaid bills. So those who pay bills at the end of the month, and we also have volumes of data for corporate organizations and individual high value customers, and sometimes it's difficult to make meaning from, we have a lot of agent analysis, but trying to figure out what and where is very difficult. So that was my second.
So you have got hype versus your personal goal for your work. The need to know more.
Yeah.
So if I look at which of them was your denominator?
Yeah.
Because your denominator has to be small, and could be small, and then your numerator, the one on top here, if it's higher, then that means that you end up making the decision better based on that one. I don't know. It depends on you. In your view, maybe the hype was your denominator, and then your personal satisfaction or personal goal was your numerator. So you are balancing the two. If the hype is so much, if the hype is so much, if you don't take care and you come into the program, you'll be expecting that from day one, you should be able to also see the things that the people you can do volumetrics by the first week. If you're not very careful, you get disappointed.
Very.
Aha. So I say that. I say so. I'm just trying to point to that the overall evaluation criterion is something that we all do all the time. We use this for choices in our lives. Sometimes even when you're making a decision about a partner that you want to settle with or somebody you want to go into business with, sometimes you bring to 2 key variables, maybe integrity versus opportunity. Integrity versus opportunity. I have a friend like that the integrity is sometimes questionable, but he has a lot of opportunities. That in fact, if you sit down with him, this one is here, let us go for it. Then you wonder whether is it illegal or is gray area. You'll be asking yourself those questions. So he is able to see opportunities very fast. But whether he'll be very legal throughout the process of achieving that opportunity is something that puts me a little bit, give me a concern. So sometimes I say, you start, I will see. It's you lose. We are taking the lead, and it's okay. You take the lead. And I've seen him go to prison once or twice, so I've seen that I have to be very careful of the integrity part. So sometimes that happens. So you can have situations where you see opportunity and then and integrity being the two competing goals. But I'm just trying to tell you this is something that we always do. So we say that it's important that the OEC is defined, but we want to also define it as a quantifiable metric coming from the SMART. So we don't want to make it just a factor, just between two factors. We want to make it quantifiable, and to make it quantifiable, we'll talk about it in the next point as we go on. Okay. So look at this one for Ghana Fresh. Our harvest optimization use case, that's reducing spoilage. We propose a balance of the total value of grade A yield divided by the total cost of harvesting operations. So what is the cost of harvesting? And then what is the total value of grade A yield? This forces the team not only to increase quality in terms of grade A yield, but also to ensure that they are doing so efficiently. We want to get quality, but we also want to do it efficiently. But what are we doing efficiently? Managing labor, cooling, and transport costs. Some of you did this in your JTBD. When you're looking at your jobs to be done framework, your JTBD, you talked about this, managing labor, cooling, and transport. If you do that efficiently, you can be able to manage or minimize your cost of or reduce your cost of harvesting operations, which means that at the end of the day, your total value of grade A yield, if it's also high, then the outcome will be good for you. Because if your denominator is less and your numerator is high, the value that you are looking for may be beneficial to you. A balanced output value against input costs. So which of them do you want to work on? If cost is increasing, if you don't take care, it will erode the yield you are getting from the value of grade A. So what is important is that you are going to balance these two. But some companies may be thinking about let's just go straight for the yield. Let's put in all the effort for you. Let's take in more labor, bring in more labor, and you don't pay them well. You not resource them well. They are not happy, but you are pushing them and you are pushing them and you are pushing them. After some time, they would not give you their best, and it will let the total yield that you get go down in terms of the optimal outcome you get. Remember, when we are harvesting and we are handling it, it's a human activity. We are engaging. If you are using machinery, a human being is managing the machine. Now, when we finish harvesting and we go to the production point will go through the produce and reject some. You want your rejection to be less. So if your labor is questionable, you're not treating them well, it will show up in that time between harvesting and the production point. You may harvest plenty, but the yield that the grade A value products that can turn into the fresh fruit will be less. Number two, during the time they are doing the planting schedule and they are planting and they are irrigating the products at the farm, if you don't treat them well too, somebody is supposed to apply pesticides at 2 a.m. He will do it the next 3 days at 6 p.m. That can also affect your yield because maybe the next 3 days is too much closer to the time we'll be harvesting. So now the product will be harvested and maybe there are pesticides still on the product in terms of smell, in terms of the actual maybe acidic content or chemical content in the pineapple. So managing this is very, very important. Sometimes people don't see that, oh, I've been paying him well. I've been paying him well. But you have been paying him well. But at the end of the day, is it in your well, is it the minimum wage or is it a living wage or is it a wage that you can be able to make ends meet? I remember when we were doing a study on the fairness in the workplace, one of the competencies that many of the companies were held. We saw that the unions were fighting for is that consent from the company. That was we're dealing with those in the ride sharing space in the economy, the sharing economy, the gig platforms. What we realized is that they were not even allowing them to unionize, and if they unionize too, they tend to penalize some of them. Moreover, we also realize that they were not sympathetic to them and giving them insurance packages. They were seen as contract staff, so sometimes they don't give them anything. We have to be fighting for that. Now it's gotten better. It's gotten better. So sometimes if you don't treat labor well, it can actually come back and affect your output that you're looking for. The last one has to be with how do we make intelligent guesses or testable guesses? We call that a falsifiable hypothesis. Instead of just going with your guts and saying that and this project will make my customers happier, what do you need to do so that that metric will be achieved? If we do action X, then metric Y will improve by this amount in this time. Remember, we are defining a goal too, so we are making it very measurable. This means that you can easily test that after time T. If we check the number, did the metric Y go up by Z? If it goes up by Z, then your hypothesis was right. If it was not, it didn't go back by Z, then it is falsified or you are proving wrong. So you have to change something in your hypothesis. Now, being falsified is not necessarily bad, but we are using that one to be able to push towards a positive measurable change. Instead of just having guesses in organization, we don't want guesses anymore. So we talked about the fact that we need to be smart. So we want to try and make sure that when we are making guesses or when we are trying to hypothesize, we are doing it in a way that is specific, measurable, and sometimes even time-bound. So let's look at the examples here. For example 1, Ghana Fresh Farming Training. I think somebody mentioned training. I don't remember whether it was group 2 or group 3. One of you mentioned about training, that you need to train we need to train them. Yeah,
There was before.
Before the first group. Yeah, we need to help our farmers grow better quality pineapples. Okay, so that is our vague goal. We have it in mind. Then we go and sit down as a data scientist. You would then say that, okay, let's hypothesize that by providing 500 contract farmers with a 1-day new training program, because you would have done your JTBD, TBD to tell us that irrigation is the issue. So if irrigation is the issue, then please go backwards and hypothesize what should I do to irrigation so that I can get a better outcome. So you have seen that through your jobs to be done, that irrigation is something that you have to be able to put to address in terms of the training you have to offer to your farmers or your employees. So by providing those 500 contract farmers with 1 new day irrigation program, it will increase our percentage of grade A pineapples by 20% within the next 6 months of the harvest cycle. Now, if after 6 months you look at the harvest data and the percentage of grade A pineapples you are getting is at 60%, then you have said yes, you have been able to achieve. But if it's not at 60% or it's not even more than 60% and you got only 52%, it's an increase, but you didn't get your 20. So your hypothesis didn't work. Maybe you should have increased the training to 2 days. That would have even made it better, because you said you are doing only 1 day. Or maybe the 1-day training program for 500, the contact time between the trainer and the 500, the final consumer, 500 farmers is very, very little. So why don't you reduce the number of people that you are going to train? If I reduce that number, it could help. So I'm coming. So in this scenario, in the types of if you're looking at it as a model, your independent variable, that's the action you are trying to take, is your 1-day training. Your outcome variable you are trying to achieve is the percentage of pineapples, grade A pineapples you're looking for. You have a starting baseline, that's 50%. If I increase it by 20%, my new target should be about maybe 60% over 6 months. So if I look at it very carefully, after 6 months, I look at it and I go and examine. Harvest from 500 trained farmers consists the harvest of my 500 of trained farmers only constitutes 62% of my grade A pineapple. That is interesting. 62% is greater than my 60%. It means that technically my hypothesis has been supported and my training has even worked better than I expected. So maybe I'll continue this training. However, if I do it and I get only 54%, I look at my harvest and I look at the number of grade A pineapples I have. How many of them came from these 500 trained farmers? Only 54%. I was targeting 60% minimum. I got 54. What is happening? Do I need to do some improvement in the training? because I couldn't achieve my 60. So maybe I bet on the 20, I couldn't get it. I got something between 50 to 54%. I need to do something to my training. Maybe my training, either I reduce the number of farmers I'm training, or I maybe increase the number of trainers who are training the farmers, so that I can be able to make sure that the farmers are well trained, and I also monitor them very well. Maybe I didn't monitor them one after training, because sometimes after post-training, people can return back to their bad behaviors if you don't monitor. So maybe I should have monitored those who have trained to see that they will bring that outcome. Okay. Please, Abigail, your hand is up. And my time is also up.
Prof, please, I wanted to ask that the hypothesis that we are going to use for it, is it supposed to be factual or assumed?
Good. That's a very good question. That's a very good question. Technically, as of now of the study, it will depend on the patterns you have. And that is what some of the things I'll be teaching you when we are establishing KPIs next week. So I don't want to jump there, but good. Cost of delay, this is another model. Good. So one of the models here, good. Establishing KPIs trees, and then the difference between what your KPI trees and what your North Star metric. North Star metric is the most important KPI that you want. So there are a number of points that I wanted to point to. There is what we call the industry. I want my actual good. You either use a performance measure or use your industry benchmark. There are certain things that there's an industry benchmark. For example, let's use this one, for example. I'm not answering your question in totality, but I'm showing you an example. So, for example, if I was doing those of you who are in finance can tell it, a current ratio analysis, liquidity analysis, can we pay our bills? I want to understand whether we can meet our short-term financial obligations. I may use current ratio, means a current assets divided by my current liabilities. So in doing that, the measure is often done by comparing what is in your organization with the industry standard. So Ghana Fresh has 50 million in Ghana cedis in current assets, and it has 10 million in current liabilities. Its current ratio is 1.5. So, but the industry benchmark for the agribusiness is liquidity is 1.8. A ratio of 1.5 means, actually I'm writing it here. A ratio of 1.5 means that the company has 1 Ghana cedi, 1.5 Ghana cedis in current assets for every 1 cedi of the current debt. Since the benchmark is 1.8, it is below the industry standard. We need to improve the cash position of Ghana Fresh. So what I'm just trying to point out is that sometimes in some industries, there are some industry standards that exist. Others, it may come from your own data by looking at previous pattern. Last year, this is what we achieved, but this year we want to go a little bit above. So establishing benchmark can either be coming from your performance measures, which you have already, or from the performance benchmark, which may be in the industry. So these are two places you may get it from. Please, have I answered your question, Abigail?
Yes, please, you have. Thank you.
But you asked a question which is in the future. Don't worry, I'm okay. Good. So let me wrap up with the falsifiable hypothesis. Let me just go back. Okay. Sorry, I was in here. Good. Next week I may have to make sure that we learn some specific models that I want you to learn, especially with the KPIs, because I want you to cover that one. Now is needed for your future work. Okay, so the next one is okay, this one I want to look at. Ghana Fresh Logistics and Fresh Logistics. This is the last one, then we close. Fresh Logistics and Packaging. Because somehow I knew that somebody talking about packaging, or I conditioned their mind to talk about packaging. I went to the group, I said, what about packaging? And they wrote it down. Okay, so I knew that to come up. So I won't forgive me if I conditioned your mind to write it. But it was a very good point that you put across. Our new packaging should reduce pineapple spoilage. So we hypothesized that switching to our new ventilated shipping crates will reduce our percentage of spoilage for a pineapple shipped to Europe by 30%. That's from 10% spoilage to 7% during the quarter Q. Sorry, fourth quarter. I said quarter Q, fourth quarter. Simple explanation. At the end of quarter 4, you look at the reports from your European distributors. Did the spoilage drop to 7% or less? That's the question you're asking. If the spoilage is still at 9%, that means that what your hypothesis didn't work, and the shipping crates may have not helped you, or they helped you, but there could be other conditions and other factors that could actually influence this particular KPI for not working. So we call those ones input KPIs. There are other there can be a leading KPI, and there can be other input KPI that can inform the leading. So whilst you were focusing on ventilated shipping crates, did you look at labor, like the way somebody meant how they arrange it on the plank or on the shipping board? Maybe the person was doing the arrangement, he didn't arrange it well, so the air was not able to have very good ventilation. You know that sometimes you have seen that you buy things from maybe Melcom and you are putting them in your car boot. You can arrange them very well so that they can be stable whilst you are transporting them. You can also arrange them in such a way that the bottles will be jumping up whilst you are transporting them to your home. That's what I'm talking about. That's human error. So we didn't factor in human error. Maybe the human error could have been factored in, would have achieved our 30% reduction. I'm just saying maybe. So it could happen that it may not work. What do we say here? Okay, look at the example. The final spoilage report for quarter Q4 shows 6.5 spoilage rate. That means that it's less than the 7%, and I'm happy about it. It means that I've been able to cross the 7. It means that the new crate successfully reduced our spoilage by more than 30%. But this, as I said, human error. This is assuming that it's only the new crate that led to it. But we should also note that new crates will achieve it if the human handling is a static variable. The way they pack it, whether new crate or old crate, they'll pack it the same way. They won't make mistakes. And if that is a given and it's a constant, then the new crate is the one that has reduced my spoilage. But if it's not a constant, then I have to think about it. Let's think about the fact that the person who is your head labor, your foreman, who does the arrangement of the crates perfectly and is the best crate folder or arranger, he falls sick, and at the time you are doing Q1 exports, he was not available. Then you go and bring this newbie and he comes to do the arrangements. But before you move from Ghana to Togo, the ship shakes a little bit, and almost all your produce because it's glass, they are falling down and breaking. Then that's a problem. So in the second scenario, the spoilage rate was rather increased, 8.5. Oh no, it's rather at 8.5 from the 10. We have reduced to 8.5, but we have not reached our target 7. So we are falsified, meaning that the crates failed to meet the 30% reduction goal. We have also learned that the crates may not be working alone. They need other variables to learn to make it work. So what does the hypothesis quantification do? Hypothesis quantification helps us to be able to make sure that our guess that we are guessing is testable. Our guess that we are guessing, our presumption that we have is testable, can be proven, and if it can be proven, it's scientifically positioned in terms of the fact that we stated it to be specific, to be measurable, to be attainable, to be realistic, and to be time bound. That's what we have done. So why does all of these things matter? Technically, when you are doing a critical decision use case, you may end up. Remember last week we learned about critical decisions, and we're talking about. Oh, sorry. So you may end up realizing that you have a problem. You want to make your critical decision that we learned last week when we're looking at chapter 1. We're discussing optimal harvest timing. What you said is that we have to be able to for every goal that we have, for every vision we have to decide to come up with decisions that we want to achieve. And then for the decisions, we should come up with a quantifiable hypothesis. Today, we have learned about how to formulate a quantifiable hypothesis. And then from there, we can be able to look at the data sources that we need. And then from there, we can be able to talk about the labor that we need. Now, we are trying to put a story together. So we are saying that for Ghana Fresh, one of the core problems that it has is harvest optimization. In fact, it talked about 3 problems. If you look at your use case, our capstone project, about 3 problems. One of them is harvest optimization. The second one was about logistics. And the third one was about new markets. New market like taking advantage of the local market. Then for the first one, if you want to address it as a group, now I'm speaking to the group leads are here. You need to create a use case card. So, and then your use case card is that you are trying to develop a predictive optimal harvest time model. And that means that, why? Because you are trying to, your strategic decisions from your canvas, from the previous canvas is that optimal harvest timing, decide on the best time for harvesting. So your problem statement then becomes like that, okay, so I have a problem in harvesting and I need to be able to establish a proper schedule. So when the farm operations manager is planning a weekly labor schedule, he wants to know, or I want to know, the exact date each field plot will achieve its maximum grade A ripeness, so that I can deploy the labor and logistics resources efficiently and minimize 20 to 30% post-harvest loss. You see how the post-harvest loss, your objective was the post-harvest loss. But before you can do that, you have to deploy logistics and resources. This is what Group 1 was doing, telling us, what will I do? Educate them, do that. That I will choose to do something. Group 1 was doing that part. Yeah, but what will that one lead to? It will help them be able to reduce a loss of maybe 20 to 30%. But they say that what data do they need? They need to know the exact date for each field plot, or to know the exact date each field plot will achieve maximum ripeness. Achieving maximum ripeness can also be a factor of irrigation, can also be a factor of what can somebody help me? Can be a factor of what? The variety of the pineapple, can be a factor of what again? The labor in terms of how they do the planting and how they do the how much attention they give to the plant, to the plot, can also be a factor of pesticides. Fertilizer, good. So that one alone is also having its own variables inside in there. Okay. So I have a problem statement. So what will I do? My overall evaluation criterion is that the total value of grade A yield divided by the total cost of harvesting and the cold chain, because after that I have to move the logistics and labor. I have to move them. This will help me maximize efficiency and quality. So the quality and efficiency, what I'm targeting. So total value of grade A yield and the total cost of harvesting. And so these are the 2 variables I'm going to be combining. Now I want to suggest that this is the predictive optimal harvest time is what you call the POHT. So if you see somewhere. So I hypothesize that using the PHOT model's recommendations, okay, will increase the percentage of grade A pineapple sold by at least 5% compared to the traditional method, without increasing the labor cost per kilogram over a trial, over a 4-week trial. What is he trying to say? The decisions I will take from here. The decisions I'll take from my problem statement. I can deploy labor and logistics efficiently and minimize this thing. If I'm able to know what my maximum exact date for this, if I'm able to get this information, I can take certain actions that can lead to this. Those decisions that I take from here can help me increase the percentage of grade A pineapple sold by at least 5%. Why? Because my yield will increase, my grade A yield will increase. And if I've got more grade A yield, I can sell, that means I have more to sell. If I have more to sell and I'm able to increase by 5%, it's good. Compared to the traditional method without increasing the labor cost per kilogram over a 4-week trial. So I'll test this for about 4 weeks. So what is important is that what recommendations are going to come out of my JTBD? What recommendations are going to come out? Today I saw some number of recommendations. I'll do this, you do this, you do that, you do that. If those recommendations go through, it can lead to certain outcomes for you. And that's what the falsifiable hypothesis is telling us. So today I have learned about how to be able to come up with certain, your JTBD, you'll be able to come up with certain decisions, and the decisions that you are coming up with, them when you put them together, what will be the outcome for you? What will it be, and so what will it lead to? It may lead to maybe increasing your sales. It may lead to something. That's what is he has captured that one at the falsifiable hypothesis point. So in that case, who are the key stakeholders involved? I need a farm manager. I need the sponsor. I need the cold storage team. These are the ones who are affected. The Equia is the Equia Mensa is a sponsor, but the primary user for this particular framework I'm doing, or this particular activity I'm doing, is the harvest time optimization. Is the farm operations manager. He's the one going to do supervise harvesting. So that data is needed by him, or that metric, if I'm able to achieve it, is needed by him. What data will I require? I may need to collect data on the yield data, historical yield data, weather patterns, soil data, future market prices, labor deployment logs, so many things to do with that. Now, what is my estimated effort? How much effort should I put in? My effort is high. It requires significant data engineering, and then data engineering and model building. And then I'll be able to get that one done. So this is what your use case card will tell you, what I need to get done to be able to achieve maybe the optimal harvest time. Okay, so what we expect you to be doing is that you need to be doing some of these things to help your decision making, but it should be leading towards a point. It should be leading towards a point. Okay. So let me not talk too much. This thing that you saw here, please don't be worried about the RISE. RISE is a prioritization framework. It's rich, impact, confidence, and effort. So it advises that I'll be teaching you next week on when you have got a number of KPIs and you need to make a choice about them, or the number of decisions you need to make a choice, prioritize them. What you need to look at is that, Rich, how many people will be affected by that particular choice you're going to make? And then what will be the impact if the choice happens? What will be the impact? What will be the benefit for you or for these people we are looking at? Number E, how much effort is required? And number C, what is your confidence level? This is the first framework that allows you to put your own assumption, your own estimation of confidence. It's like your own estimation that this thing go work or no go work. Yeah, how much confident are you? How much guts you have for this particular decision? And some people say that it's not needed in the workplace. It's actually needed. I'm the same person who said that don't go with your guts and go and make a decision and go and look at the data, but look at the decision first. But I'm telling you that with the RISE framework, sometimes you need to look at your guts. For example, you are choosing between University of Ghana and KUST. You look at their program, the rich is good. They're all having good rich. The impact of the CVs are the degree from here is good. A degree from Kumasi is good. The effort. You are in Accra. You have to take car every day. Kumasi and go for lectures. Oh, they have even opened a distance center for KUST at Kwabenya. Oh, I'll be able to go to that one. But Kwabenya to where you live at La Paz, and Kwabenya, okay, Kwabenya and La Paz, and then but the lectures come from Kumasi over the weekends. They come and teach. But business school, the lectures are here in Accra, and business school and La Paz, it's not anything bad. So you have now actually the effort may be less for Kwabenya and may be high for business school comparably. I don't know, but I'm just using that. But then your gut feeling, how much confidence do you have in? This one is like a part-time thing. You come on Saturday and come and do the class, and then the lectures go back. But here, even though you are doing some over the weekend in business school, University of Ghana Business School, you can have access to lectures because they're in Accra. Anytime you can talk to them, you can call them and visit them. So your gut feeling will say that if you look at the whole thing, I think that 60% likelihood if I go to Kenya, go to Legon, I'll finish. But Kenya is maybe 30%. I may end up dropping out because maybe if things are not going well, I have to change my transcript. I have to go all back to Kumasi. No, I can't do that. I'll go with Legon. You have used the right framework. People do that a lot, especially with the C variable, the confidence. Everything is okay, but they don't have the confidence to take the decision or take advantage of it. Remember, I told you something in terms of strategy. Your ability to see the opportunities in the environment and be able to assess them, and the one that you are willing to take advantage of, that is, your confidence is in it. Your C is in it. Your confidence is in it. So your confidence is in maybe me for giving me your Thursdays for me to teach you this one. You could have been in another elective, but you had some confidence and took advantage of it that maybe Prof can teach us something interesting and new. So I'll take advantage of it. So your C is playing a key role here. Anyway, thank you very much. Next week, we'll go into KPIs. Then we'll look into that. Thank you. Okay, so I did an announcement to the students that I'm releasing the first 3 chapters of the book for free on the class platform for you to have it to be in the Google Drive folder for you to download, and then I'll also put them in Sakai later. But the books are coming up, coming out. So I told them, they asked me that they wanted to put down their names so the bookshop can reserve. We are negotiating on prices now. Reserve some for them. So as of now, I'll put the document was in the Google Forms there. If you're interested in getting the book, write your name early, so that I'll give the names to the bookshop. Those of you who go there with the book with the name when the book is announced as available, and they see your name is on the book, you show your ID, they'll sell it to you at 200 cedis instead of maybe 250 or 300. I'll tell them they should take off their markup from it. I'll absorb that cost, so you can buy it at 200 cedis. On Amazon, it's going to be about between $30 to $50. We are still yet wrapping up about that. So I don't want you to buy it on Amazon to make cost you too much in shipping it to Ghana and stuff. So pick it up from the bookshop when it's announced. Yeah, and so the list will come out hopefully tomorrow morning. Then you can just sign up for it. But the first 3 chapters for you to start revising, they will be made available for free in the Dropbox folder. Sorry, Google Drive folder. Thank you very much. Hey, this class.
Thank you too.
This class didn't. The other class, the way they jumping. Hey, this class. We sell to this class.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any reaction?
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much, Prof.
We sell it to Brenda herself can buy for 10 students. Okay.
Prof.
Yes, please, Priscilla. Ask your question. But please, I'm finished. Those of you who have to drop out and go for another meeting or attend to something at home, you can go ahead. I've finished. Go ahead, please.
Prof, please. I'm asking in concern with the WhatsApp group established for the strategy for analytics.
Yes, please.
Some of us are not on it, so.
Oh, really?
Sometimes, yes. Dissemination of information is quite difficult.
Why have we not asked us that we should just let me just put the link here. So if you know you are not on it, you just but you could have just asked your mates to send you the link or
I have, but then it didn't get anywhere. So if you could help us, that's fine.
Priscilla, are you the rep for but Abigail is here. Abigail, why are you not doing your work?
Paul, she didn't get to me. She has not asked me anything.
Okay, maybe she.
No, I haven't asked Abigail, but someone else. Yeah.
Okay then. So let me put the link here right now, so you can just use that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, somebody was also asking a question.
Abigail, please, I've sent you a DM. Kindly check if you could help me.
The same person I sent it. Then Abigail, take care of it for me. Do you have the link?
Yes, for sure. For the main page, I don't, but I do have the link for group 3.
Oh no, I'm just talking about the main page.
Okay, please, I'll look for it.
I'll get it. Let me get it for you for her right now. Oh.
Okay, sure. Okay.
When people are asking for this, that means that they are eager to learn more, and we can't delay them. We can't keep them. Okay. So let me just get it for you, please. Just forgive me. I'm on WhatsApp now. Oh, and if you have any other question, please go ahead and ask. And those of you who want to bounce, you can bounce. We have finished. There's not going to be any special announcement again.
Prof, please, I wanted to ask about the lecture notes. I think it's not been updated on the drive.
So,
We
Abigail,
just
which
have
of the
section 1 and section 2. And
so
it seems
Abigail,
section 1 and section 2 is the
Abigail, are you the
same.
one asking the question?
Yes, please.
Do you hear what I said right now?
Please, you said you are going to upload the chapters of the book that you're about
Yeah,
to
so that's the
use.
lecture notes, or what else again? And I said so that it will cover those chapters that you are looking for. Then when you get the book, it will cover it up. The rest is up to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But
So
then,
I've
please,
answered
the
your
one that
question.
you've
Yes, please. Go ahead.
please,
Go
the
ahead.
section 1 and section 2 that you've shared so far is the same thing.
No, you don't get what I'm trying to say. I said that what I shared for you was just slides, so I didn't share you the lecture notes, the actual text. I'm giving you the actual text chapter. Oh, maybe you didn't understand it. I'm copying. I've asked them to give me the PDF of chapter 1 to chapter 3 to be given to you. Chapter 0 to chapter 2,
Okay.
to chapter 3.
Okay.
Chapter 0 to chapter there's a 0 chapter, the one we learned about pastel and all those kind of stuff. So that chapter 0 to chapter 3, that covers about 4 chapters for you. There's a 14 chapter book, so I'm not surprised about they willing to do so. So I'm giving it to you. Would that not capture address the issue for you, Abigail?
Yes, please, it will. Thank you.
Abigail.
I get it.
Thank you very much. Anyway, you are doing a good job. You are fighting for your constituency. Okay, so those of you who don't know, are not in the group. The invite is going to be put in the WhatsApp. Sorry, if I do the WhatsApp to not work, it's going to be put here in the chat room right now. So copy it. But how did you get the link to the class? Then you struggled. Sorry about that. So I've added it here, please. Abigail, keep it, copy it, and then paste it in other classes that you are. I think you have a main page for the whole analytics program. You can even put it there and tell students that those who have not yet joined the strategy for analytics group can use that.
Yes, please, Prof.
Okay, so Abigail,
Okay.
copy it. And the lady that asked the question, copy it. Please, Hannah, you had a question. I forgot to call you back. Please ask your question and forgive me. I remember your hand was up. I saw it and I was going to come and I never came back. Hannah, are you here with us? Yeah.
Yes, Prof, I'm here. But I think it's quite okay. It was when the other group was presenting. So I was hearing most of what he was saying on the techniques. The one who spoke about I think the sales dropping.
Okay.
I didn't hear much about the product itself. So I'm coming to say that if they could also concentrate on the product, because what will make the sales drop? They could have the skill, but if the product itself has issues, or maybe there's a new competitor in the market and what the person is doing better than what they are doing, and then they are not selling out anymore for that period.
Okay.
Yes, please. It wasn't a question.
Okay then. Okay, good. Then lastly, I'm pointing out some students asked a question that Prof, for the challenge that we have, where will we get data on fresh fruit produce export and import issues and in the world? And I told them that you can check fresh juice. You can check statistical. It's a website that actually has statistics, but it's paid. But sometimes they make some part free. So fresh juice sales in Europe. In case you wanted to use that data to help you analyze Ghana and what's Ghana Fresh, you can type that and it will search within it to give you. Okay. Good. So they have got this data from 2013 to 2024. Fresh fruit consumption in United Kingdom. That's even a good metric for you. And then the sales value. It's not all the data that is free. So you can get whatever you can get just to help your presentations become much more relevant. So if you get data on Austria, you can maybe talk about Austria and just say that in case Ghana Fresh is going to Austria, these are the things that you look at. I don't know how you're going to answer it. Soft drink market share of fresh juice in United Kingdom by flavor. It's interesting. Let me click on this 2025. So those of you who want data on the fresh juice market in the world, somebody told me that, I want to explore, I want Ghana Fresh to explore other markets. I said, then come here. You can check maybe Brazil, you can check other countries. Oh, this one, the data is, the distance is even here. Oh, you can even use this graph alone to do something. Market share of fruit juice in United Kingdom in flavor. Look at where pineapple. Pineapple is the least. The highest is orange, then apple, then others. So pineapple is number 3 from the bottom. And this is and it has not changed that much. It has been number 3 from the bottom. Number 3, number 3 from the bottom. Number 1 from the bottom is number 3 from the bottom. So you count 1, 2, 3. So the third to the bottom. Okay. Or the third 1, 2, 3, 4. So the fourth. But look at the pineapple. 3.5, 3.5, 3.5. Wow. So maybe if I answer the question, if I say anything, I'll be answering your question. I'll answer it for you guys. Now I've shown you the data. This data is relevant. So guys, capture it. Please capture it. This data is relevant for your analysis. Very, very relevant. Because UK, there are a lot of Ghanaians in UK. So you know that. And then even the explanation is here. Soft drink market share of fruit juice. And this is relevant relevant data. Look at this one too. Chilled and ambient fruit juice market share in United Kingdom. They're 2014, too old. Okay. Soft drink market on fruit juice, United Kingdom, 2013, 2014. Look at it for trends. Market share of dilutables. Okay. Shemema. So it's also there. Okay. Good. So if one of you is very rich enough, you can pay for maybe for 1 year for your group, and then you can have free access to all the data. But your group members can contribute and pay for one person. If there are 15 people in the group, all of you contribute $15. You can be able to do this. But you don't need to do that. But if you can get the data anywhere, you can use this one too. Please, do you understand it now? Apple and orange seems to dominate, and other products. The other products, I don't know what is in the other product. Maybe the report will tell us. Wow. Two-thirds of the market is held by orange juice. Only 12.8% of the market was held by apple juice, which was second most popular fruit juice flavor by market share. Wow. Hey, then it seems that pineapple is an emerging taste in there. Pineapple seems to be an emerging taste. Okay. Group 4. Do you see how this one, the group 4 that we had today, you see how this one changes the dynamics of what you're thinking about? You are not in group 2. Anyway, thank you very much. I've enjoyed teaching you. As usual, your class will always push me to do more. We have done more and more today. Thank you very much. And thank you for all the group leads that supported us and in doing the presentation especially. I'm very grateful for your support and being a studio teacher for us. And as I said, I told Abigail should remind me that this is an exam question. The JTBD model is an exam question that you are going to answer. So I'll structure an exam question and then we'll discuss it later. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Prof. Have a good night.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Sabina, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, now everybody's got Louis, thank you. Is it K-Ford or Sayford? Okay, K-Ford, yeah. K-Ford, thank you. Okay.